Seattle's contribution to popular music is undisputed. You know the names, from Hendrix to Hart, Pearl Jam, Macklemore, and many, many more in between. In this series, we're going to examine Seattle's music community, in depth with unique performances, with interviews, and much, much more. We're also going to find out what makes Seattle, Seattle, and what makes this city on the shores of the Puget Sound one of the best places on the planet for music. Welcome to Sounds by the Sound.
Let's rock and roll.
Welcome to another episode of Sounds by the Sound. We are at Seattle's version of the beach. It's a great park called Golden Gardens here in the Ballard neighborhood, where literally there are whales in that water. They pop up from time to time. On a summer day in Seattle, there's probably no place as crowded and as busy as Golden Gardens. You got people playing volleyball over there, even people dipping in the water from time to time, which is, on a hot day, pretty nice. It's the perfect place to have our episode. Takes a look at some of the natural sounds of the Pacific Northwest. One of the best parts about this area is that you can be at the beach right now, and within an hour, we can be at Snoqualmie Falls, or world-class hiking in the Cascade Mountains, or camping on the many trails and forests in and around Seattle. When it comes to nature, maybe no place better on the earth. Keeping with the theme of nature and natural sounds, we're gonna have all our artists today strip down and perform mostly unplugged and mostly acoustic. We'll introduce you to a hip-hop artist named Raz Simone, who just got off tour with Macklemore. He'll perform from Seattle's Magnuson Park. But first, a great young band that we're super excited about called Visceral Candy. We're gonna meet up with them at Volunteer Park in the Conservatory, a place designed by the same guys that designed New York City's Central Park. It is a very, very special place that's right now on Sounds by the Sound.
We're Visceral Candy. This song is called Catastrophe. It was dead in a little spot, it was dead in a little spot. It was dead in a little spot, it was dead in a little spot. It wasn't just a feeling that this will be all that I got. It wasn't just a smell of rot. It was dead in a little spot, it was dead in a little spot. It was dead in a little spot, it was dead in a little spot. It wasn't just the wrinkles or old wrinkle cream. There was something here, it was a king. I found them that way. They weren't looking alright. Alright. The minute I walked in the room, I knew something wasn't right. Not right. Catastrophe. 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 Oh, is it the kid? Don't get it, get it. Oh, is it the kid? Oh, is it the kid? Don't get it, get it. Oh, is it the kid? It haltingly came on. How I came to feel this way, couldn't help it, have it undone. Watch it unraveling, taking notes I'd learned. What it all means to me, I could see the wherefore. I wouldn't want to be by the time it was over. It was over, we can't resuscitate. Now it's way too late, I'm sorry for the way this turned out to be. I apologize, but this is how it has to be. Catastrophe. 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 Oh.
Welcome back to Sounds by the Sound. We are in Seattle's Volunteer Park at their beautiful conservatory. It is Visceral Candy. Hello.
Hello, how's it going?
Can you tell us the origins of this project, when this thing got started?
I actually started it a few years ago because the band that I was in with him wasn't creating enough music.
How long have you known each other then?
We were on a baseball team when we were like 8 years old or something like that.
Cool, awesome.
I've known Ian for about 10 years just through music and stuff.
Yeah, and I met Josh in high school.
Well, you guys can speak then very eloquently about what a special place the Pacific Northwest is. Do you have any favorite parts about this place?
Really, it's the sound. The sound is really what brings me back every single time. It's the mountains on either side. The natural beauty is just off the charts, and especially in like the Seattle area.
How about you guys?
I just like all the parks and everything, and it's a pretty walkable city, pretty easy to get around if you bike, doesn't have to drive everywhere like LA or something like that, so that's a big plus to me.
Well, there's just so many things to do here. Go hiking, go to the beach, mountains, snowboarding, you know, pretty much anything you want to do.
What about musically in the Pacific Northwest? Was it something that you guys studied formally? Did you teach yourselves? How'd that work?
Yeah, I just taught myself. I can't really play any instruments unless I've got a little electronic help going with that.
That's awesome though, that's great. You still are able to create. What about specific music things about the Pacific Northwest?
There's just a lot of diversity in the music, and people play it to such like a strong skill level. It's a lot of fun just to go out on a random night because you're gonna see something great, like just going to see some DJ sets to like rap to rock and roll to pretty much everything. And I think that there are like 1.2 bands for every one person in Seattle, so it's gotta be like good that there's gonna be some
Law
good
of
music
averages,
going on.
somebody's gotta be.
Right, exactly.
What about, again, your specific music and the, say it's an album that you just released?
It's called Both My Dogs Died, So I Wrote This Album.
Is that true?
Yeah, they both died within like 60 days of each other. It was a definite bummer, and it also comes with a rad little 16-page children's book for adults because it's got some swear words in it.
Or a children's book for a really cool kid.
Yeah, there's that.
Either way.
As well.
Does each page in the book coincide with a specific song on the
Yeah, it
album?
corresponds, and it kind of follows the story. Like the first 4 songs are kind of happy, the dogs are alive, I meet them, that kind of stuff. The next 4 songs are pretty bumming. The last 5 songs are just kind of like the aftermath, like the stupid decisions that I made.
Well, if anything positive came out of that experience is that you have a killer group of songs.
Right.
Thank you for performing today here in the conservatory. Congratulations on the album. That's Visceral Candy on Sounds by the Sound. Coming up after the break, a performance from Raz Simone in Magnuson Park. Thanks for watching. Welcome back to Sounds by the Sound. We are on Kite Hill in Seattle, Washington, in beautiful Magnuson Park. In a couple of minutes, we're going to talk to this guy about who he is, his story, and his music, but not before we see him do what he does. It's Raz Simone, Sounds by the Sound.
My name is Raz Simone, and this is So Far, So Far. Go ahead. Look, my baby mama's ungrateful. She says I'm f***ing up while she's staying in my house, not paying a buck. Working a dead-end job, minimum wage and such, but going out on the weekend, shaking the stuff. While I'm out here in these streets for the sake of my son, I don't want to shoot no one, but I'm taking my gun. In the middle of transition, coming from kilograms, standing in the trap, whipping, to going to currency exchange counter with bad women. Like how much cash for a dozen? Really that pimping? So so-called family and friends see me stack riches, and all they do is how can it benefit them or they're indifferent? But I'm wise enough to know that this fast money don't stay. So if I stop putting in work, it'll all go away. But if I invest my resources and my time in a fully legitimate grind, I could pass it all down to this kid of mine. When I was a little boy, I had big dreams. Big house, big wedding, big ring. I'm so far from that, so far from that, so far from that, so far. When I was a little boy, I had big dreams. Big house, big wedding, big ring. I'm so far from that, so far from that, so far from that, so my baby mama's ungrateful, she says I'm f***ing up. What you want me to tuck my son and get sucker punched by these motherfucking punks who got me out here ducking slugs, bucking subs, is up, you love you slug. Dang, I ain't really mean that, but really for real though, I ain't really that man to scream at. I let you stab me in the past, but I'm different now, take heed of that. I probably blacked out and put rings where your cheek is at. When I was a little boy, I had big dreams. Big house, big wedding, big ring. I'm so far from that, so far from that, so far from that, so far. When I was a little boy, I had big dreams. Big house, big wedding, big ring. I'm so far from that, so far from that, so far from that, so far. I didn't win the lotto. Whew. You use a semi-auto. I was turning hella white, vitiligo. Now I'm wrapping up the beef from me eating. It's a taco. They hope my road to success is bumpy. They digging potholes. So I got a lot of things on me that are not closed. I don't wanna do it. Don't make me shoot it. These jealous broke haters is just a nuisance. And these public school curriculums are just as useless. Put our children's necks in nooses. We shouldn't let them do it. We need to test the system while they try and test the students. I might just chop up your checks and disperse your pension. They teach us how to go to work or to go to prison. Creative marketing by the prison industrial system. And that's pimping, that's real. All these famous rappers will teach you how to go to jail, for real. When I was a little boy, I had big dreams. Big house, big wedding, big ring. I'm so far from that, so far from that, so far from that, so far. When I was a little boy, I had big dreams. Big house, big wedding, big ring. I'm so far from that, so far from that, so far from that, so far. Y'all on here, but you can make some noise from my band, from your computer screens and your TV screens. Make some noise for John St. Clair on the violin. My guy Anthony Dan's on the keys. My guy Brian Warmgun Chin on the guitar. Much love, thank you.
So far. You just saw him perform in Magnuson Park, and now our tour of Seattle's parks with Raz Simone continues here at Golden Gardens. How you doing, man?
Doing well.
Can you give us a little bit of background on you, your musical career, your musical life?
Yeah, I started doing music when I was 14. Been building since then. Started taking it seriously when I was about 17, and then I still stumbled around, and then I really took it seriously when I was about 21, something like that, you know. There's been like a little transition of making music into my main thing. I started up a company called Black Umbrella. I have a bunch of other predominantly Seattle, Washington-based artists, and we've been building for the last few years now. It started out as a brotherhood and like people from my neighborhood and all that stuff, and from that, the street, from the base, into an artist collective.
Sure.
And so then we built onto that team with other people. It became an artist collective, like a natural thing, and then transitioned it into a label of sorts.
Well, it sounds like you've created a community. Can you maybe talk about a little bit more about the broader Seattle music community?
Seattle is a big city, but it's also small at the same time, so it's perfect because once that platform is there and we cultivate it, then we have this huge platform. It's a small step to get to it. We have to take all the steps to make it into, so we have a nationally vindicated scene, but once we do have it, then it's like, it's perfect, and it's gonna be a lot easier than, you know, a bigger area. It has been really dope because a lot of artists, like we all know each other. People are realizing that it's not a rush to the top, because that doesn't help anyone, especially if you're kicking someone else. So I feel like everyone's understanding that the way that you get things going is, you know, really like supporting each other, working with each other if you feel the spirit, you know, like all that.
When did you first start getting recognized nationally outside of Seattle?
When I put out my first video, I went and I had a bunch of my people do research. I said, look for all the smallest blogs in all of the world.
Yeah.
In Korea, in Japan, in Russia, Germany, like all that stuff. So when the first video came out, we sent it out to all of those little blogs. And so I remember looking at the first analytics on YouTube, and it was like the first week, 100 plays in Germany, 200 in Russia, you know, and then you know, started booming up, and there was thousands. And man, Portugal is really liking it, you know, France is liking it. So that was from the beginning because we made that step to reach out like that. Like, I've been traveling more now, and I've been paying attention to all the blogs. So the more I do that, the more I naturally become more universal. I feel like it's connecting more and more with people.
You mentioned you've been traveling. You were just on tour earlier this year with Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. How big was that for you as an artist?
That was really big. It was dope. It was cool to see people that I've walked through doors that I'm gearing up to walk through, and to see what they built and seeing how they operate on that higher capacity, and then being able to apply that to my team.
You're a real prolific guy. I feel like you are always releasing music. What you working on right now?
I'm working on an album with this Korean artist. Man, he's ridiculous.
How'd you get involved with that?
Well, it's crazy because he reached out to me. He was doing his first US tour, because he's huge over there. He's like the Korean Drake. He was on tour in the US and he hit me up. He followed me on Twitter. I followed him back, and he was like, bro, oh my fuck, he was like, man, like, just listen to your music and saying how amazing it is. This is crazy. And I'm just like, what? Because I look at him and I see, you know, he's got the blue check. He's got over 1 million followers. But then it says, from Seattle to Seoul. I'm like, who the hell is from Seattle in Korea? And I don't know about him. And he's this big. He's get like over 80,000 likes on Instagram and stuff like that. Long story short, now we're working on music together, and then we start sending stuff back and forth, and we're like, you know what? We should just make a whole album.
It's awesome, man. What do you have in the future for the rest of 2016 and beyond?
Tomorrow I'm flying out to Amsterdam and then Paris. Then I'm getting back here, working on music again. And then I also have solo albums ready to go too.
Wow, man.
I'm always like going back through and working on the post-production and all that.
Congratulations on everything. I know you're a busy guy. Thanks for taking the time to hang out and perform for us today. Absolutely.
Okay.
His name's Raz Simone. Check out him and the entire Black Umbrella family. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, a performance from Visceral Candy on Sounds by the Sound.
We're Visceral Candy. This song is called Hold On or Run.
Hey dude, man, I have a couple of things that I could say now to you. You don't wanna mess around with losing things that could really mean to you. Sometime once or twice it will come. You might have a chance just once in your lifetime. Don't waste your time on the one that ain't gonna give you back what you need though. You need though. When you find your love, hold on. Hold on. If she ain't your love, then run. Then run. Hey dude, maybe you could take a cue now off from me. You don't have to make that mistake, 'cause I'm telling you how you can avoid it. You just got to look real deep. Gotta see if she's gonna match your loving. Do your best not to waste your time. Don't waste your time, a little man, just don't do it. When you find your love, hold on. Hold on. If she ain't your love, then run. Run. Then run. When you find your love, hold on. Hold
Thanks so much for watching this episode of Sounds by the Sound. A special thank you to Visceral Candy for hanging out with us and performing. Speaking of performances, we're gonna do one more very quick impromptu thing with Raz Simone, having him go full-on a cappella with just a little bit of violin right here at Golden Gardens. It is a perfect way to end our Natural Sounds episode. I'm gonna go see if I can find a whale. You're watching Sounds by the Sound.
Raz Simone, Sounds by the Sound, Missing Jugs. Oh, I'm missing just so I can see you. Open your eyes. You know where my soul belongs. Don't say that I don't try. Oh, I'm missing just so I can see you. Open your eyes. You know where my soul belongs. Don't say that I don't try. Oh, I've been waking up next to you when I don't even sleep. I've been putting it on silent, ironically vibing when I don't miss a beat. So don't tell me that I'm never there. Don't tell me how I feel and I don't feel. I should be checking on this track now. Oh, I should be getting off this dope still. But I'm missing just so I can see you. Open your eyes. You know where my soul belongs. Don't say that I don't try. I'm missing just so I can see you. Open your eyes. You know where my soul belongs. Don't say that I don't try.